Hello, everyone, and welcome to another year of the Cosmic Encounter Tournament and us doing a silly little podcast conversation YouTube show for you to enjoy and listen to. I have, if you looked at the website, which I've just shared with all of you by the time that this is out, there's the new power rankings. There is this, but if you go to the tab on the right side with the three little bars, I think that's called a hamburger on a website. If you click on the little hamburger, you will see a couple other special little things. You'll see an archive of all of the power rankings from all time. You'll see little player pages where all the players that have played more than one tournament get a page that are in this tournament. Because people like Max, per se, who's only played once, doesn't really have a lot of statistics for me to create a nice little cute graphic for him. So I did all the players that have played more than once, have a little page there. And then at the bottom, if you really want to get nerdy with me, I have archived every single Cosmic podcast we've ever done. So I think there's 4 of them. This will be the 5th one. There's one from way back when I did it with Chris. Then there was the next one I did with Ian and Chris, and then 2 that I did with Tyler, and then this one with a brand new guest, never before on the show, but I know has a lot of good insight about the game because he has been very successful in the tournament, much more than I have. And I would never say that in a real life setting, only in this setting. So Saturday, I would never say anything nice about this person because he is bound to annoy me at one point or another. I'm hoping that he somehow misses the PowerPoint presentation because I won't get through it if he's there. Welcome to the show, my friend and yours, Parker Moon.
Wow. Wow. What an intro. You know, did that hurt you to say that? I feel like that was really nice, and I did not expect that. Also, can we pause and say that just because I've done well does not mean that I know anything about this game or have any secret sauce, any knowledge there.
Well, I appreciate you trying to like be humble in the sense, but like, and every year when I do this, I like look at all the numbers, and your numbers are speak very highly to your ability to play. But like,
Painfully high, some might say. Josh might say.
yeah, painfully high. And so like, eh, the numbers can lie. Like there can be like, you know, I, I had some thoughts in my head that I'm not going to say as people who like. Actually, no, I'll say this because I know this person will not be watching. If you look at the early years, there was this guy named Daniel Zika who literally did not know what he was doing, literally any single time. And not only did he win the first ever tournament, but he made the finals every single time he ever played. And I think it was 4 times. And I can objectively tell you
That's amazing.
I know I can objectively tell you he does not know what the heck he's doing in Cosmic Encounter. Does not know this game. If I sat him down at a table right now, he would not know what he was doing, but he would somehow win. And so the numbers can lie, but I don't think that's the case for you.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I think there's something to be said for going in and people thinking that you don't know what you're doing, and that somehow making it to where you can squeak by because people don't really assume you're a threat. So you get carried in negotiations and stuff like that. And I do think that that's been a little bit of my advantage. And I think that unfortunately is wearing off very quickly because of my continued success in the game.
Okay, then what do you make of someone else that has continued success like a Jenny, so to speak?
You know, I think Jenny is an outlier in this game. She's the one who like I don't even know, right? Do you know? It feels almost impossible for her to be this openly good at the game, and also she always manages to win the table over whenever she's playing. People want her to do well, they want her to succeed. There's never any like we can't let Jenny win again, even though people will say that. They will say that like from the jump. They'll be like, we can't let Jenny win. She always wins. But then halfway through the game, that changes and people want Jenny to win. So she's got something. Maybe it's just the Jenny-ness of Jenny that people just love and want to see succeed, and she's just very good at the game. Like
Yeah,
there's no two ways around that. She is very good at the game.
she's very good at like the exploiting the equal opportunity nature of Cosmic Encounter because while yes there's opportunities to pile up on people, most of the time those things have to still make some sort of strategic sense. And
Yeah,
Jenny is good at avoiding those situations where she's going to get piled up on, or you know exploiting the other players' positions to their benefit as well as her own.
Mhm.
And I just pulled up my spreadsheet. She's won half the playoff games she's ever been in, and she's made the finals 7 times.
Incredible. You know what? She's everyone's friend. She's Ginny. She's everyone's friend. Like there's never a situation to where like I'm not even saying that like tongue in cheek. Like when you're playing the game, she's very good about making you feel like she's on your side. Like no matter what the circumstances, even if she just betrayed you the last turn or whatever, that you forgive her really quickly, and that is a skill I think within itself. Because like I feel like sometimes, people will do a less than kind move to their neighbor, and the way they go about it, it makes it to where a line is drawn in the sand, and it's like those two people will be against each other for the rest of that game, maybe the rest of the tournament. And Jenny doesn't have that issue. I feel like she always has people coming to her side and aid and letting her join in on deals that maybe don't make entirely sense, but hey, that's her ability. She's great at it.
Well, and it's, I mean, not to just talk about Jenny because there's 16 people playing in this tournament, but like we've been playing a lot of Blood on the Clock Tower lately, and she's just as good at that.
Yeah, for sure,
And
for
it's the
sure.
same. It's the same kind of thing because there is
She's
an equal
everyone's friend.
right. There's an equal opportunity nature of that game as well, and she's like good at. If Cosmic Encounter were a game that like a game like the online games that I've hosted, if it's solely like a Big Brother where you can, or even like a Survivor where you can just vote Jenny out because she's the biggest threat, it would make sense to do that, and you would do that. But because that is not an option here, and an ally is an ally, and sometimes you need allies. It doesn't happen to her very often, and she always said, I think for the last 10 years or however many times she's played at this point, she always says, this is the year I'm going to flop. This is the year I'm going to flop. And she's, like I said, so she's played 8 times, made the finals 7 of those 8 times. And in that year that she didn't make the finals, she still was third in pool play. So it's like her flop year was still like
Still
way
pretty
better
great.
than
Yeah.
most of my years.
Can I ask you a question? Can I put you on the spot a little bit?
Yeah.
Do you feel any level of like it's the stat like the cards are stacked a little bit against you because you're the host, because you know the game so well, because you love it so much, you ooze the passion for it and everyone sees it. And I feel like at least for me, like when I play a game with you, I can't necessarily separate those two things. So you always have this like aura of being a threat in Cosmic, but it's just because you are hosting the tournament. You love the game. You're Josh. You're the board game guy. So like, do you think that's kind of made it to where it's been harder for you to succeed? Whereas like if you were to play with like random people, you think you'd maybe do better?
Yes, I think the answer, optically or perceptionally is yes to that question. If you look at like I said, I like looking at the numbers on this. If you look at my numbers, they're just pretty straightforward. They're average. There's nothing like glaringly good or glaringly bad. It's just like pretty good, like pretty okay. But like in the minutia of game to game, I think that happens. I never think about that because
Right, right. I don't think you would. Yeah, yeah.
the first time that I think about playing Cosmic Encounter is when I sit down. Up until that point, I'm working all of this, I'm doing this, I'm thinking about all the silly fun stuff that surrounds the tournament, the PowerPoint, getting that ready, like all of those things. And so I don't once think about, oh, I have to play the game basically until I sit down and draw my flare cards. I'm like, oh, what are my alien choices? And so then what happens, and what has happened in years past, is like I'm not really afforded a whole lot of leash.
Sure.
And so when I go for broke on a big move, which I like to do. I like to try and plan out a big move, try and make it happen. And sometimes I do. Sometimes I have like the best laid plans. Like if I have this idea, sometimes I'll go for it even when the game situation doesn't necessarily call for me to do it. But then when it flops, or if it flops, or if it comes back to bite me, or just a card zap, or whatever comes about, it's like, oh, here goes Josh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Josh did this, and now he's getting what he deserves.
Yeah.
And what usually ends up happening is I lash out at somebody.
Sure. Yeah.
And
I feel like obviously I'm maybe your biggest annoyance in the Cosmic tournament because I love to poke the bear a little bit. I think it's really fun, and you're a good time. Like you have a good reaction with that kind of stuff. But I do feel a little guilty because I know I've seen it happen, not just with me, but with other tables too, where like people were like, "Oh, it's Josh. Like we're gonna anger, we're gonna make him mad, or we're gonna team up against him, or for whatever reason." And I don't know.
Well,
All
and
that to
there
be said,
a
I
lot
think
of
you're great.
well, and like a lot of those situations have caused me to change rules. which sounds
I respect the transparency.
but, like, I think because I see the tournament through my lens, of course,
Sure.
but and what I've seen is the hee-hees and the ha-has of, like, "Ooh, what if 4 people team up to win against Josh in pool play, and we'll all get 5 colonies, and he'll get 2." And so I said, "You know what? That is not good
Who would do
objective."
that? That's a
Well,
horrible move.
well, and I've talked about this in podcasts past that I changed the rules for moves like that because it was not benefiting 99% of the people involved. It was benefiting the 1%. The 1% was usually you and Jenny. There were situations
And,
like the
and it was so funny though. It was so those hee-hees and ha-has were great.
yeah, and those hee-hees and ha's can exist now, but there's a little bit more of a price to pay with the scoring system of pool play. Um,
Yeah.
But and I said this, I've listened back to some of the other podcasts as I've gotten everything together. Like I've said, good players would adjust to these things, and since we changed the pool play rules, you've done just fine. Jenny's done just fine.
I
Mitchell's done just
was
fine.
worried that that was going to tank me. Because a lot of what my play has been in the past has been like, let's do it together, gang. Trying to find majority coast to a pretty comfortable spot. Not necessarily first. A lot of times it worked out for me in pool play, but it was a lot more friendly. And then with that big shift, I was worried that it was going to be my downfall, at least for pool play.
Yeah, and so I was even looking at where's your numbers. I could just search your name. I have literally every person that's ever played the Cosmic Tournament here. Here we go. Um, Well, and it has worked in pool play for you in
Yeah.
a pretty incredible way. The ranking average, if you see that statistic on the pool on the power rankings, it's basically just so like Parker has come in 10th place out of 51 people in his total cosmic career, because if you just do that math, so that makes his average 0.196, which is by far better than anyone's ever. So you adjusted to the new rules pretty good. You've never finished lower than 4th place in pool play, and that was the first year you played. Every other year it's been either first or second, nothing else.
I'm telling you, man, I swear, like as much as I love this game and I respect this game, there is such a level of like true chaos that goes into it. Like you really there's I don't want to say it's Mario Party luck, but there's some wild luck that goes into this game.
Well, and there is, and I think there is that luck that exists to people that are not the better players. Because
Yeah,
like
yeah,
no
yeah.
one's gonna say Jenny has gotten lucky. No one can ever say that.
Sure.
And for the most part, they can't really say that about you either. And like
No, but I would say that about. I truly like especially like year one. I had no reason or right to do as well as I did. So like
right.
there's I want to say that like they're better players than me, and I know that every year going in.
Sure. And and we're here to talk about all those players as well. Not just us here.
Yeah, please.
No, but I appreciate the question about the perception or the like. Let's gang up on Josh because it does happen, and it's fine. Like if you want to gang up on me this weekend, great. I hope you lose the next round, but and you might. But I think the other thing that that I at least don't have hanging over my head is I have at least won the tournament once, and so
Right,
like
for sure.
so
That
it's not
helps.
it's not like I'm chasing that and been chasing it, for years and years and years. What I do want to talk about real quickly for those of you that watch this is the changes to the format. I don't have. I might put some visuals up on the screen in post. We'll see. But we are effectively cutting around the first several years of the tournament. There were only 5 rounds, and then as I tried to figure out what the best format was to make all the games matter as much as possible, a quarterfinal got added to the mix. And so there are 6 rounds. And I was telling this to Chris the other day that I think I'm trying to solve a problem that isn't necessarily the biggest problem, but like is enough of a thing that is worth taking a look at, which is like how long the tournament's been going. And particularly it wasn't last
Oh
year, it was 2 years ago.
my god.
The finals game was like 2.5 hours. And that's that was kind of its own thing, but it made for quite the exhaustion at the end of it. Jenny
Yeah.
was pregnant. Parker's wife Maddie was very, very pregnant. And like and a 2.5 hour game at the end of a long day of Cosmic. Everyone's stressed. Everyone doesn't want to be playing anymore, but everyone knows we got to finish this.
There's like a level of like cosmic hangover I have every year the day afterwards, which like now as a parent of two, that is so intimidating to me. So just so like selfishly, I'm very thankful that you're looking into how do we
Right.
tighten it up a little bit.
So, for the first time ever in tournament history, there will only be two pool play rounds. You only play two pool play games. There are at the moment of me recording this, there are 16 people set to play. If that changes, this part won't change, but like the numbers of how many people playing at each table might change. Um, but in the 16 player structure, there will be one game of five, two games of six per round, and there will be two rounds, just like normal. The other change to that is that each pool play table is going to be completely randomized, so there will be no structure to, I mean, there's structure, but there's no like rhyme or reason to who you'll be playing. And there's a couple reasons for this. One, because I just wanted to try it and see what it looks like. Two, because like with the two rounds, it's already impossible to play everyone. And then I thought that the like, oh, it's me, Parker, and Jenny, and we're just rotating to other groups of three was getting a little stale as well. So just to freshen those kind of things up, but it's mainly the logistics of it for two rounds. And I think it'll be fun to see like just like total different combinations of people for two rounds. You don't know who's gonna be you're gonna be playing. And then we're going to go from those two pool play rounds right into the playoffs, which will be three rounds. So we'll have five total games. But the first round of the playoffs is very different in that there are two quarterfinal games. And then there's one game that I'm calling the Super Qualifier. I thought I'd give it a fun name. The Super Qualifier game is for the top five finishers in pool play. So if you come in first place through fifth place, you will be in that super qualifier game where you will be competing for one spot in the finals. Now, there's a lot of advantages to being in this game. One, you get a shot at the finals, of course. And two, if you lose this game, you are not eliminated. If you lose this game, you still go to the semifinals. So essentially, if you're in the top five from pool play, you get two shots at going to the finals as opposed to everyone else that is going to be playing nothing but elimination games the rest of the way. So quarterfinals, semifinals, then finals. I think that in cutting around and trying to figure out how to shorten things, I think I stumbled upon something really fun.
I love it. I think the super qualifier is a really nice reward for pool play. It just makes pool play like the stakes seem better there. Having the one round that doesn't lead to an automatic elimination is a great change. I don't know. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, and I think that that game is going to be really competitive. One other change, one other thing about that super qualifier that I haven't even told Parker about this yet, but that game is going to be a shorter game in a sense, in that every person in that game is going to start with a colony, just going to give everyone a little head start, because I anticipate in a game that there's only one winner for that one to usually run a little bit longer. Now, there's also the added caveat that there's not going to be elimination out of there, so there's not maybe as much dire urgency to not lose that game. But to speed it up a little bit, everyone's going to start that game only. That's the only game that's going to happen in. It's going to start that game with a colony, and you'll play to five like normal with one player able to win. Yeah, I'm very excited about that change. I think that's going to be a really fun round to see how it plays out, see what the strategies are in that kind of game. Do people go for broke to get that final spot, or do people see what they can do, and then if they don't get it, they'll just be like, all right, now I'm primed and ready for a semifinal match.
I almost feel like it's going to be more of a game of who do we not want to send to the finals. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like there's going to be a lot of table talk of we can't let this one person go, or one of these two people go. We don't care who else gets it. I feel like that might be the way that plays out.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Because it was really hard to mitigate in old pool play, mitigate who that person was that got that final spot. But now, like if you're playing a game where the winner goes through, that is huge. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could absolutely try and block someone out. Um, and then in the same respects, just kind of thinking about this out loud, like I'm, is maybe less about who I don't want in the finals, or or who I don't want in the semifinals. Like I don't want to have to play this person again
Oh,
potentially.
that's a good point. Yeah, yeah. Like,
Um,
let them go on so I don't have to worry about. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I could see that definitely playing out.
yeah, and I think by and large everyone's just going to be playing to win that game. Like
Sure.
everyone's going to want to, but having that safety net of being in that game is going to be really fun. Now in those quarterfinal games, those will be games of 5 or 6. Depending on your seed, and those games are going to have 3 spots to the semifinals. So you have a pretty good shot at getting out of the quarterfinals. But after 3 games, there will be one. There will be at least 5 people that get eliminated after 3 games. This isn't totally out of the ordinary. We've had people eliminated after 3 games before, but the never more than one. So sorry to those of you, or those of us, if it happens to one of us, that get eliminated after just the 3 games. But I think this is going to tighten up the tournament. The other thing about tightening up the tournament is that we do have a child that is going to be in our house, and while our friend is coming to do some babysitting, we want to make sure that we're you know being responsible
That's
and all
good.
those things.
That's
And
good of you. That's big.
yeah,
We're showing growth. Child before board games. That's huge.
well, yeah, and it's not by much, but it's still before, it's
Still there.
still there. And so we would love for everyone to not feel burnt out at the end of the tournament too, and
Sure.
like feel like we just had a really fun day, get to debrief it all, like
Truth
done.
be told, I also like that there's going to be more than just the one person eliminated, because that was almost worse than anything. Like, if you got that spot, it sucked, and it feels like you have a different experience than almost everyone else who plays Cosmic that tournament, because you ultimately probably leave early. You feel like you're kind of forgotten, left out to the wayside. I just feel like having multiple people eliminated might even help people want to stay
Yeah.
around, because then you can talk and you have other people who are, eliminated at the same time. I don't know. I feel like there's good potential to make it a better turnout for the actual finals.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree, and I think that that's a great point. I don't think anyone's going to like scoff at these changes in any way. I think people are going to be excited by it. Bring some new life in, especially because we haven't done the tournament in 2 years now. Feels like I haven't played Cosmic Encounter in 2 years.
Same.
So, all right. So, one more Cosmic question, and then we'll start. We're going to do a draft like Tyler and I did last year. If you watched that, any I've asked this to other people in the past, like any moments from the Cosmic Tournament, your Cosmic Tournament history that come to mind of fun, silly, exciting, you won once, like what comes to mind when you think about, this day and what you've experienced?
Oh my god. The thing that's crazy about me winning is I can really truth like, I'm being dead serious. I can almost tell you nothing about that game or that win. I feel like, especially when you're in the finals, you're running on such adrenaline and exhaustion, and you're just like, I don't know, like, you're
So,
just
so
going through the
okay, just
motions.
let's put that to the test real quick. Can you name the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other people that were in that finals game with you?
Um, I mean, Jenny.
Yeah.
I think Chris.
No.
No. Um. Oh shoot, dude. Tyler.
Nope. Wow. Yeah, you
I
really.
mean, it's been what, 4 years,
Yeah,
3 years?
it was 2021 that you won.
Yeah, 4 years ago. I can't tell you anything from 2021. I've had
Truly.
2 kids since then, Josh.
Look, the only reason I could maybe name these kind of things because I look at the spreadsheet a lot. But in that game, this is really funny actually. Okay, so in that game was Jenny. Then Eric Hooker was in that game. Ian was in that game. Mitchell Stokes was in that game,
Okay, okay,
and
okay.
then Maddie Moon, your wife, was in that game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
um,
I actually, it's coming back to me now, mostly because um, Mitchell and Eric, they also have such an aura of threat to me when I'm playing in a game of Cosmic with them. And I remember going to that with with Mitchell and Jenny and Eric, and thinking like, there's no shot. Not only is there no shot, I don't know if that I'm going to get a colony. Like, it was just like, it was such a wild turn of events for that to play out. So hey, look at that.
Yeah.
But
But
no,
anyway,
besides that, some of
yeah.
my favorite memories. I mean, like it's really interesting to me because I don't remember that much about games. Um, bl- I remember the small things. I remember, having like random times where people play cards app after, and it just gets chaotic. I really enjoy the camaraderie around the tables in the early games. I feel like that's when it's almost more like a pure cosmic, not tournament cosmic.
Mhm.
Um, so like the pool play has always been fun for me. I I enjoy the snacks and the hanging out with people in
Yeah.
the intermission. So it's that, and then I also it more so I'm getting a little like esoteric with it because I'm not really talking about cosmic itself, but just like the fact that this has been going on for so long and it's been in multiple houses and multiple locations. We did it at the church. We there's been multiple areas where this tournament's happened, and it it just feels very special. It feels like this cool thing of saying like who's stayed on, who's fallen off. For the majority of these people, this is the one time a year I see a lot of them. So
Mhm.
like I think that's the thing that I really on a annual basis enjoy about it most is like it feels like this little pocket dimension where I get to see some people who I haven't seen and laugh with them and enjoy it, and then leave and think I'm never going to play that game again, and then I do it again the next year.
Right.
So that's kind of where my head goes when I think of the tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to get sentimental about it, I would, say basically the same things. Like it all started it started in 2013. That was the first year, which is
God
crazy.
alive, yeah.
2013. And I just remember we had fallen in love with Cosmic Encounter. We were playing it as much as we could for a couple of years. We just and we still do. We still love it. We're all more adults now, so we have less time for these kind of things. But like those first couple of years, like all we ever wanted to do was play Cosmic, and it was like the best time. And so then Chris and I one day just said like, let's plan a tournament. Let's see if we can do this. We met at a cookout and we plotted out the whole format, and it was so fun. Like I just remember him and I going to cookout and talking through Cosmic Encounter, and then like 2 weeks later we run the tournament. Like it was just like that quick, and that it was that easy to get players because we all just loved this so much. And then we did it, and we talked all about it afterwards, and we dissected the games and debriefed it and had all this fun. And then like we're like, we got to do this again. And it ended up being, somewhat a year later or whatever. And then it turned into this annual thing. And you're right, it has like I remember because it used to be at my parents' house, growing up. We did it there for
That's really wild.
we did it for 5 years at my parents' house at least. I think the first year outside of my parents' house had to be the first year you played. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
the apartment. Yeah,
yeah, in our
you
apartment.
and Jenny's first
Yep,
apartment.
yep, 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 yep. That's where we played it first. So like we played it at my parents' house for 5 years. And I remember thinking like, for whatever reason in my brain, I couldn't reason it not leaving there. And then Jenny was like, let's do it here. Like, and I was like, but then people have to come. But then people came and we did it here and it was super great. And then, Jenny and I bought a house and we did it there. And then, yeah, we had to do it at CKM that year because of COVID. And we had all these people and we didn't want to do it at our house. And we were just afraid of the proximity. We all wore masks. Like,
What a year.
and now, and then we did it back at our house for a couple of years, and now we're doing it at a new location again because Jenny and I have moved.
Yeah.
um, and
And
so,
hey, shout out. One of my other favorite things is you have people coming from all over. You have Chris coming from Texas for the second year in a row, third year in a row. I don't even know.
multiple, he's
But
been
just like
coming forever. Yeah,
what a really cool thing that.
Sarah is driving 14 hours.
Oh my word. And to me, honestly, like that's a testimony to what you've created with it. Like I truly like again, I feel like we're getting really sentimental and I'll make fun of you later, so don't
Yeah,
worry.
sure.
But like it's nice. It's something cool. There's something to be said for the fact that you put together such a fun event with this very niche community that people are willing to travel or make plans, hire babysitters, do whatever else to be there.
I mean, now that you said there are so many people traveling, like from far, like okay, so Jenny, Josh are here. Chris is coming from Texas. Sarah's coming from Missouri. Mitchell's coming from Raleigh. You're not coming from far. Max is coming from Florida. Ian's coming from North Carolina. Um,
Wow.
Trey's coming from Raleigh. Trey and Victoria. Gray is coming from Birmingham. Chad is coming with Chris from. It's like crazy. Like people just like all coming over to Anderson, South Carolina to play Cosmic Encounter.
Right.
And you're right, it's not about Cosmic Encounter. We're gonna like have the best time playing it, and we're gonna play it all day. But like, the people that are coming from out of town are coming Friday, and they'll be here through the weekend. So like, we're making a whole meal out of it, of course. But yeah, it's really sweet. I'm excited about it as always. And it's been 2 years since we've done it, and life has changed dramatically, obviously, because Franklin's here now, and you guys have kids, and everyone's like all in different places, and all right, I'm done.
Yeah. That was too sappy.
Who's happy? So what we will do now is kind of go through all 16 people pretty briefly. We're about half an hour through this, and talk about any random assessments we may have, or stories we may have, or reasons we would pick these people. There are 16 people on the board, so we'll get 8 players each, ourselves included. If you want to draft yourself, you by all means you can.
No, that guy suck.
Yeah, and then the way you win this draft is by choosing the player that eventually wins the tournament. So if you have the winner on your team, then you will win the tournament. We'll do it snake draft style. So whoever goes first, the second person will go twice, and so on and so forth. I have the players in 3 categories. There are 6 people who have prior won the tournament. So that's Jenny, me, Chris, Sarah, Mitchell, and Parker. The rest of the people who are just returning players who have not won, Max, Ian, Ashton, Alex. Oh, Alex is not returning. Alex is a newbie. I have that wrong. Ashton, Eric, Trey, Brett, and then the rookies, which is Alex, Victoria, Gray, and Chad. Okay, so I don't have a fun way to decide who's going to go first, but you've won the tournament more recently, so you can have the first pick.
Sorry, a bug just crawled across my desk. Kill that bug. Okay, hello. Man, this just got chaotic from the rip. Okay, I can have first pick.
Yeah. Or if you'd
Okay.
rather defer and have the second and third pick,
No. No, it's fine. I'm gonna pick this person because it's been a little bit since they've won the overall thing. And I'm kind of hedging my bets here. So um I'm gonna pick Josh.
Oh,
Because
interesting.
that
Okay.
way, if he wins the tournament, I win this bullshit. But if he loses, then it's the best case scenario, anyways. So like I'm a winner either way. So that's my my number 1 draft.
That's great. I love being the number 1 draft pick. We don't have to talk more about me. We've already talked enough about me.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah. And so, you know what? I'll go tit for tat, and I'll just go ahead and take you.
I'm shocked. I cannot believe I pulled that off. I did not think you'd actually pick me.
Oh, yeah.
You dummy.
Would you consider throwing the tournament so that I can't win this? And it gives you a better chance of winning this if I win the tournament.
I feel like you're trying to do some sort of like wild backwards logic to help you win, even if it's just by eliminating me, and the answer is absolutely not.
The game has begun.
Keep dreaming. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so those are funny first 2 picks. I'm going to take the next just obvious pick for real. And it's just I can't not take Jenny. I can't just let her sit there and not take her, because she is always going to be the odds-on favorite to win. And I have no choice but to take her.
Boring.
Yeah.
That's the safest pick you could go with.
Yeah. All right. Be adventurous, man.
Yeah, I think I will. I think I will. I'm gonna go for the rookie pick as my next pick with Alex. Obviously I know Alex. I don't know that everyone at the tournament does. We haven't seen him in this setting of Cosmic, but I've seen him in other games, and he's very, very calculated. He plays things close to the chest, and he's just a smart guy. And similar to how I feel about Jenny, is I feel like everyone wants to be friends with this guy. He just he's got such a good vibe about him. Even when you're playing Blood on the Clock Tower and you shouldn't trust him, you do trust him. And he's just got a very keen mind for games, at least from the games that I've played with him in the past. So I think that's a safe bet for a rookie pick.
Yeah, it's a good pick. When Alex, and he does this in Blood on the Clock Tower really well, when Alex speaks, people listen, because he does hold things back. My fear with Alex is that he command a strategic table of Cosmic Encounter specifically, which does sometimes require being a little bit more out in front. I think he can. I don't even know if he has to necessarily. but I'm
When you say command like that, being forward, I almost feel like that can be a double-edged sword though, because when you say that, I think of people like Mitchell and people like Tyler and Eric who are good players for sure, but also paint such a target on their back because they're so outspoken and they're so almost you can see the eagerness in their eyes to drive the game, to win the game. And at least, coming from my own perspective, those are the people that I tend to be way more wary of.
Mhm.
And, that's why I like, because I don't think that Jenny's necessarily the most outwardly commanding. I think she
Sure.
does a good job when she needs to. She speaks up when she needs to, but she plays it pretty close to the chest for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, and if and you're so right about everything. I mean, everything you said about Alex is 100% true, and so if he's not played a lot of Cosmic either, though, but the good thing about the tournament is that you're drinking from a fire hose, so, like, he's gonna get in the
If
swing of
he
things
goes
pretty
far,
quickly.
he'll be fine. He'll
Yeah,
know the rules. He'll be
hit.
ready.
Yeah. Alright, you get 2 picks.
Two picks. Okay. Um, okay, I'm gonna go with another one that I think it shouldn't be a long shot. And I don't want it to be a long shot, but I feel like this person has been a sleeper for years and is better at the game than the record shows, and that's going to be Ian.
Oh, okay.
I feel like he's due. He's due. I feel like it's time for him to do well. He's always a really good player, and I feel like it for whatever reason in the past he's just always like falling short of the finals or falling short, of I closing it, and I feel like this might be his year.
I love that because I want it to happen.
Right.
Ian is coming out of a pretty rock bottom year where,
We love
yeah,
a Cinderella story. We
yeah,
love it. We want it to
he
happen.
was the only person. Is my reading them? Yep. Yeah. So last tournament we had a quarterfinal with 4 people. It was me, Ian, Brett, and Ben. And only one there was only one loser out of that game, and it was Ian. So Ian was that person that you talked about earlier that just like eliminated on an island. And he handled it well. He was fine. But Ian's Ian's been playing Cosmic Encounter literally as long as I have. He's the only other person that's been in every single tournament, and yeah, I think that he is long overdue to have a really good showing, if not finally a win, which he's more than capable of. Just get him in a finals. Like like that's the other thing. He's only been in the finals 3 out of 11 times. And so like we've got to up that number for him because when he gets in, I'm certain I don't remember this specific finals that he were in, but I'm sure in all 3 of them he had a say in things and
Hmm.
wasn't just sitting back. So like he's just got to get there. And he has had really great pool play years. So if he gets in that super qualifier and has a shot to get to the finals or gives himself 2 chances, he needs those 2 chances to
I'm
get
telling you, I
in.
have a good feeling about it. I feel like he has like the opposite problem of someone like a Jenny who everyone's looking at to, try to defend. I feel kind of what you said of like you want it to happen. Everyone's rooting for the guy because he loves the game. He's been here for years. He's played solid. I feel like it's just his time.
Yep. Yeah, I love that. Okay, I get 2 here. I do wanna pull from the rookie class because that's fun, and I have taken safe picks. I've literally taken, like, 2 of the statistically best Cosmic Tournament players and you and Jenny, so, like, let's do something a little out there, and I'm gonna take Victoria. Um, and the reason I'm gonna take Victoria is a number of reasons. One, she's awesome. Like she's great. Like everyone's gonna really enjoy having her at the tables. Like if you may not remember, this is Trey's wife. She was at the tournament last time, but just came as a spectator, let Trey play, and wasn't and didn't take part. But she was very sociable and like and hung out with everybody and was super great. I've gotten to know Victoria a little bit more because not too awfully long after that tournament, she played BBH, and she played such an underdog game. She was nominated 1,000 times. She was always the safe name for people to throw up on the block. And
Oof.
she like over and over and over was fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And she came in second place.
Wow, that's awesome.
And was a vote away from winning.
Wow.
And so she played just such a fun game that I really loved. And I was rooting for her because like she was someone I knew in real life out of that cast that season. And so I know that there is a very competitive person in Victoria. And so you put her in this space where, you know, all you're doing is this. Like BBH is tough because you also have your real life to live. Here you don't. You just show up and you do this for 6 hours, and that's all you have to worry about. And I'm sure that Trey has done his homework to help Victoria prepare for this, for one, and for two, I know that Victoria wants to be better than Trey.
Yeah, that always
And
helps.
yeah, and honestly, for Trey, who has not had the greatest tournament showings, it's a low bar to clear, and I know she's excited to. I haven't heard this from her, but I'm sure she's excited to leap over that bar from her. So I'm excited about
That's so
Victoria here.
funny. Yeah, good pick.
Yeah. For my next one, let's pick someone out of the middle group, the returning players that have not yet won. Um, there's some really interesting options here. I want to go fun again, and so I will be going fun, and I will take Brett.
Oh wow! Honestly, I was thinking Brett was going to be the last pick, so I'm
Good
I'm
for
proud
Brett.
of you, pal.
Here's the thing with Brett is that he often, very often, in important games of Cosmic, ends up being such a critical decision maker in like a key moment where
Yeah,
there are two paths. You take this one and this happens, you take this one and this happens. And the games, I've seen it so many times, and the game stops down and everyone is pleading to Brett for their side.
yeah. Let me tell you, and that is his absolute
Absolute
hell.
hell.
That
Yeah.
is his hell. And this is why, like, I love the man to death. He's very obviously one of my best friends. And I don't know that I could pick him to win this tournament ever, because the thing is with Brett, and I say this kindly, is he's the worst person for a Cosmic Encounter tournament, because if he was given the choice between winning a game and making someone upset, or sorry, winning a game and making someone upset, or losing and having someone else be happy, having someone else experience joy, he's going to go with falling on the sword and letting someone else win so that they can have joy like 10 out of 10 times, which, like, it is great, a great testament to the type of guy he is, but that isn't good strategy for winning a tournament like this.
No, and that's all very fair. And like Brett's numbers are in pool play, they're bad. But, which, you know, they are what they are. But in the playoffs, he's won 3 out of 8 playoff games, not terrible. And has been in the finals once out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, not awful. You may you know, if one or thing goes, if he gets one more of those 5, maybe that looks a lot better than just the one. Um
He definitely has the thing going for him that people will take Brett because they underestimate him. But the thing is with Brett as any type of game player is he has a very, very strategic mind. And I feel like if he were to apply it to actually wanting to win instead of wanting to make sure that everyone has a good time, I feel like he could be a major threat.
I also think Brett's afraid to get burnt a little bit. And because like that game we played at Blood Clock Tower the other day or a couple weeks ago, where he was like commanding his corner of the
Yeah,
circle,
yeah.
it's like there's that Brett that exists,
Oh, for
and
sure.
it's very fun. So I think Brett can do well. I think Brett can win. I think any person can win. But Brett's a person who has the experience now, has played this a number of times. Could easily, you know, find his way into some important moments and pull the trigger and maybe pull out a win. So I'm picking Brett because that would be so cool if Brett won.
It would be great. He's the long shot. He's the major underdog.
Yeah. All right, back to you.
Okay. I am definitely going to go with Chris for this next pick. I debated on taking him first. Um, just like, I mean, what's there to be said? He's always a solid player. He's just incredibly smart, good at the game. He takes really big swings in a way that has made the tournaments in the past fun and memorable. And he picks the aliens with the weirdest rules and
Mhm.
the ones that I would absolutely shy away from. I'm the type of player who will always go with a safe alien and hedge my bets and want to, if I'm not winning off of some crazy, rule, but I'm getting a handful of colonies to make me go to the next round to maybe make it to the finals. Like that's how I'll play. Chris is not that way. He wants to have fun, and
Yeah.
I respect it and I love it. And I think that shows in his numbers probably. That
Yeah,
sometimes he
it
has
does.
better tournaments than others, but he's such a good player. Yeah, absolutely. We're
Yeah,
taking Chris.
very high and low on his numbers. His ranking average is like dead center, like right in the middle. 55 out of 108. That's a 509 average. Like he's right in the middle. So like he has big highs, he has big lows. It evens out. And then in the playoffs, he's won 5 of 14 games, 3 finals appearances, has won the tournament once. And I remember that year that he won. I remember him coming into that tournament saying, like, at some point, it might have been the year that we did the first podcast. He's like, I'm coming to win this time. I'm going to try and win, because him and I've talked about that exact thing. He always been
Yeah.
like, but is this more fun? Like in recreational Cosmic Encounter, I do the same thing. I will always choose the thing that prolongs the game, because that's I get to play more. And
It's the biggest difference between tournament Cosmic and regular Cosmic is there are aliens that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole when I'm playing in a tournament game because it's just too risky. And I feel like that's the fun of a player. I mean, honestly, you do the same thing, but a player like Chris, like he's not afraid to take those swings whenever.
oh yeah, and so I love that. And yeah, well, Chris and I have so many stories playing Cosmic. I think back to this game that we played at Sonic with our like kids, friends in our youth group or whatever. We played at Sonic. We played the team variant where everyone was on teams, and or everyone had a partner. And Chris and I were partners, which was so fun. And in the last encounter of the game, everyone teamed up against us to everyone win against Chris and I. And I'm fighting my last battle trying to stay alive. And then everyone has this like kind of like giggly thing going on, but Chris and I don't know what's happening. We don't know why everyone's like we're like something's up, but we don't know what's up. And so the encounter plays out. We play the cards, and then in that moment, everyone starts freaking out, laughing, going crazy. And then they point at the planet, and they're like, "Chris didn't put ships in the encounter."
No.
And like lost their minds, and Chris had just forgotten that to come
Oh,
help me. I don't think it would have made a difference in that encounter, but they just loved that moment so much because it was the moment that won them the game. And Chris didn't put ships in the encounter, and Chris
that's
and I were the
so
only
funny.
losers. And yeah, so it's things like that. Okay, second pick. Who you got?
I'm between two. I'm gonna go with another pick that I don't think I've played in enough tournaments with them to really know what they're capable of, but Max Teddy is just a really good vibe. I love the guy. He's got a great smile and brings a great energy, and I feel like from what I've seen, he's also got a very good kind of like sleeper attitude where he's playing the game through that smile. Like he's everyone's friend. He's got that charisma that Jenny has, but he's very good at the game. He knows what he's doing. He's playing to win. So, um, yeah, I feel good with that pick. I feel like I'm excited to see what because I truthfully I think I've only played in one tournament with him.
He's only played in one tournament, so yeah.
He's only played in one tournament, so there's only that's the only time I've seen it. But I've seen him in some other games, um, and I feel like it would not surprise me in the slightest if he had a great year.
Yeah, so I mean, Max's first tournament was really, really solid. He was, with the exception of the fact that that was the 2020 year. We played in 2 divisions. He came in last in his division, but so he had to play in a quarterfinal game, and he won the quarterfinal game. He won the semifinal game, got to the finals. So basically went from worst to the top. And so got to play in a lot of like high pressure games, elimination games, and came out on top of all of them. I think in that finals game, I remember that finals game
Was that
very.
at the church?
That was that
Yeah,
year.
yeah, yeah.
And so I remember that
That's
finals
COVID
game
year.
because that was Jenny. That was the year Jenny won her second year in a row. That was everyone was in that game. I think honestly, except for Max. I think everyone, and Max, you can correct me if I'm wrong on that because you probably have a better memory of it because it's the only tournament you've played. But that's the game that, if you remember, Tyler had the 50-50 chance to win the tournament on the trickster
Yeah,
play.
yeah, yeah.
And he picked wrong. I think it then swung to you had a chance, and then finally got to Jenny, and she
That
won
was
it
also
again.
the year that Jenny and I were about to fight because she was doing that thing, man. She was doing that thing where people were underestimating her. She kept getting all the whatever. She had the alien that you're allowed to get cards from the discard pile
Uh,
or what.
sure.
She was such a threat, and no one was taking it seriously. And look what happened.
What
I
happened?
mean, history proved me right. But no,
Yeah,
that was a good year for sure, and a
and
great showing from Max. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So Max is a great pick. I love that. All right, so let's see who do we have left. I am going to take. All right, this is a. I can't like this. I'm almost gonna have to apologize to this person for not being picked up to this point. Oh, there's a couple people that fit that bill. In
Uh-huh.
fact,
I've been thinking the same thing.
but I'm not.
One I'm intentionally letting hang, letting sweat a little bit.
Yeah, me too. And I'm gonna pick Eric Hooker. um, yeah, I gotta pick Eric. Um, may, you look at the totality of the group and you see 6 former winners and you're like, well, that's a pretty good odds that someone's going to do it again. And I'm not saying that that won't happen. Very good chance that someone repeats as winner, but in the 11 years it's only happened one time. So I will, play the odds there and say that we'll have a new winner again, unless I win, of course. Then I'll be very happy about that. Odds being broken. But Eric, another guy kind of due for a win.
For
Eric's,
sure.
if I look at his numbers, I think they're also really good. Eric, yeah. Oh, well, okay. Middle of the road pool play player, but like high highs and low lows. So like has a second place, has a first place, but then has a 12th place in there. But
He was the elimination the first tournament I played in because I remember feeling so bad for Eric that year because it was like really early in the day.
yeah, on that
Yeah,
tab on that year's tab on my spreadsheet, he's the only one highlighted in blue because he does not have a spot in the semifinal games because he was auto eliminated after that. So yes, that that did happen to Eric. And that was coming after the year that he'd come in second place. Anyway, Eric's been in the finals a couple times. Has a good player, good table presence, like is very locked in, very focused. He like very few things like I don't feel like he gets shaken very easily, and there's also not like a big like rallying against Eric or anything. It's not like people are like super threatened by Eric. He's no one's keeping him at arm's reach. He's someone that people will let in to play, and he's got the tactical ability and the knowledge of the game to be able to win. And I think that if you get him in any, if he played 100 finals, I think he can win 20 or 30 of them, so to speak.
he's one that I'm shocked that when I look at this winners list that he's not on there.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Okay, do I pick the other one? No, I don't. I'm gonna take I'm gonna take Sarah. Um
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a great pick. She was on my next if you didn't get her.
yeah, so Sarah hasn't played for a few years. The last tournament she played was I think 2021. Yeah, she hasn't played in a long time. So she had moved out to Missouri and then like it just hasn't worked for a few years. But this year, like honestly, like we almost built the date around one that would work for Sarah specifically because she's like, I got to be at this one. Um, um, Sarah, it's funny because like anytime we've had these conversations about Sarah in the past, it's always been about how one year she is super high and then the next year she like tanks. So let's run the Sarah history real quick. First year, second place in pool play, loses in the semifinals. The next year she starts going downward, seventh place. Then she goes all the way. She was actually the first person to experience the Eric Hooker, if you will.
Oof.
In the third year of the tournament, she was auto eliminated, but then the next year she won the tournament. And so that's always been a really fun story about Sarah. Sarah is a very good game player, and the one thing about Sarah that will always be true is that she will not let people push her around. She will do the thing she wants to do, and she will make her intentions very, very clear. Not to saying she can't be swayed in any way. She'll hear people out, she will listen, but she will do the things she wants to do. And I think
Hmm.
that in Cosmic Encounter, that is a very valuable trait to have, because oftentimes people do give in to a situation or do say, fine, I won't ally on this side, I'll go to this side, or fine, I'll back out, or fine, I won't play the cards app, or fine, I will or won't do this. Sarah is not going to have that problem unless she knows that it is beneficial for her game, whatever thing that someone else might want. And that is really tough to play against in a sense, but fun to watch, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, when you're on the receiving end of that encounter where she's against you and she knows what she wants to do, it feels bad. But I completely agree that she just knows what she's doing. Like I've it's been a while since I played in a tournament with her, since it's been since 2021. But she still has that presence in my mind of like someone not to trifle with. Like she's a good player. She knows what she's doing. She's got the game sense. Stay out of her way.
And she's driving, 14-ish hours to be here. She's not doing that just to, roll over.
Right, yeah, for sure, and it would be a good win for her, if you're driving 14 hours, you need to do well.
Yeah, and I mean, she has come close to winning again. In that 2020 game that we're just talking about, she was in that finals. If I recall, she had a real good shot at winning that one. That's the last final she was in, but she has come close to repeating. Um, so yeah, definitely a
Mhm.
threat. Okay, who you got?
Alright, I am going to go with Trey as my next pick. Another one that I feel good about, I really liked his I mean, how many has he only played in 1, or has he played in
Oh,
2 now?
he's played in a few actually. He's played.
Oh,
Um,
my apologies, Trey.
no, I think he's played in four. Yeah, he's played in four. He played early days. Um,
Okay,
he played
okay, that makes sense.
2015, 16, 18, and then didn't play again until 2023. So that's
Sure, okay,
why.
that makes sense, okay. Um from the tournament that we played together, I just again, I don't always have the best way to articulate it, but um, I feel like there are some players you can kind of just tell are better than they're letting on, like they keep the cards close to the chest, and I feel like those are always the ones who could just win at any time. So I feel like he's got a great attitude, great, a good dude, solid dude. I don't have too much to say because again, we've only played that 1 year together, and I don't even think we had too many games together. But I enjoyed him. I want to see more, so I'm excited to have him back this year.
Yeah, Trey's a super analytical guy. Really smart. Doesn't always translate well to Cosmic, but he has the ability to win at any given time. I love the pick. All right, who you taking second?
Second, I'm gonna pick Ashton. I want Ashton to win so bad, mostly because I think it would be funny how she makes fun of you when she takes the win. I feel like there will be some sibling showing off there. Um, I always get a kick out of when y'all act like brother and sister, when you're in
Right.
games, and I would love to see it. I would love for her to get the win. I think it's with her. It's just a matter of is she going to stop caring about it halfway through? Because
Right.
I feel like I've seen that. I feel like there's been times where she gets annoyed and it's like, you know what, this is a stupid game and whatever. But I feel like if she wanted to, she could go as far as she wants. I feel like she's got the game sense and the competitiveness for sure.
Yep. Ashton, like in her heyday, so to speak, back when we were playing this all the time, was a lethal Cosmic Encounter player. Like
I don't doubt
there
it
was
for a
no bounds to
second.
what Ashton would do in a Cosmic game. She was, I mean, there was everyone has their limits, of course, but like she's very good at this game. But you're exactly right that like in the tournament, she does get a little worn out. I think she's at a place in life where I think would be ready to like jump back into like a full
Yeah.
tilt playing
And if
Cosmic.
she kicks your ass and
And
kicks Alex's ass, that would be so funny. I
yeah,
feel like there's just like it's almost like the do it for the bit. I feel like she could come in with that mentality of I just want to beat Josh and Alex, and how funny would that be the year that we're all playing? So hey, that's I would love it. She's like my secret number one. I want her to do well. I would love for her to beat both of y'all.
okay, so I get 2 picks. It's just gonna leave you with the last pick. Um,
So really, you're the bad guy. That's great. I love it. Thanks for doing that.
I think I can't help myself. I think I truly cannot physically help myself.
Oh no, this is the best. Yeah, this is the best case. This is the best
I
case scenario.
will be taking Gray and Chad.
Yes, this is the best case scenario. This is what was supposed to happen when we started this podcast. We didn't talk about it
No.
up front, but I'm so glad that this is what happened.
And I accept fully, hear me say this, Mitchell Stokes. I accept fully that this gives Parker a better chance of winning this draft. but I cannot resist the urge to make you the last pick. Um, okay, so Gray, known Gray forever. Parker, I think you've played Blanc Clock Tower with him once, maybe. Er,
I think so. I don't know. I follow him on Instagram, so that's a something,
I never
right?
thought you have. Yeah, it's very possible that you do. Well, okay, so I guess BBH World maybe is where Gray
Yeah,
like uh, has met you and known you. You've definitely interacted at some point in time. Jenny and Gray grew up together, so there's that as well.
yeah,
Anyway, Gray, I think like he's played Cosmic a few times, but it's been a long time. But I think this will be a great experience for him to play a bunch. I could see next year Gray coming in and doing really, really well, being like, okay, now I know kind of what I'm doing again. But in the same respects, if Gray gets going quickly, could be like a Max did that one year where
for
he's like,
sure.
I got buried early on, but then I got found my bearings
Got the
and
momentum.
yeah, and went on a little run. So, and Gray is like Mr. Sociable. So like, in terms of the social game of Cosmic Encounter will be just fine. And we'll probably play a little bit of the I don't know what I'm doing
Yeah,
card, which players love to
one of
play.
my favorites.
And people will buy it. I might even buy it. Because to some respects, it's probably true. um, so there's that with Gray. And then with Chad, I know nothing about Chad. I've not met Chad. This is Chris's partner, and I'm very excited about him being here. And from what I understand, standing that is he is a gamer in some respects, and I'm sure that Chris has done his homework to help Chad be ready to play. And I think he's even played. I would assume he's played Cosmic because Chris owns it, so I would assume he's played Cosmic at some point. So my deepest apologies if he comes out and is like an absolute baller and I just had no idea. I just don't know.
It could very well be the case too of him coming and wanting to dunk on Chris so hard that he does incredibly well because that's just I feel like when you have someone that you want to beat, it makes you go far.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course it does. Um, all right. Who's your last pick?
I think I'm good actually. You can have. Has that ever happened before? No, I mean, look, obviously, like you said, like Mitchell's a great player. I thought about adding him the whole time, but it was for the bit. It's so funny to not, because I do think he's probably one who might listen,
Oh, he will.
um, and
I know you're here, Mitchell. I know
he'll
you're
be
right here, right now.
he'll be fuming at this, the betrayal. But also, like Mitchell's the type of player who will do well no matter what because he will make it happen, and you will be his best friend in one game, and then you will be his biggest hater in the next game, and then he'll smile at you while you're seething, and that's just infuriating. But I love the guy. I mean, he's so good. He's a great time.
Yeah, and we're
And
like neglecting the fact that he is the reigning champion.
well, he's the reigning champion, and it really feels like him being picked last is almost a testament to like how good he is because it's like it's a joke. Like obviously he's so capable and so competitive, infuriatingly competitive, that like he won't accept doing better or not doing well. He will do well. He will go far. He will make friends and burn bridges along the way.
Yeah,
So
and if we
yeah,
look at the numbers there, pool play, he's just been right in the middle of the road, but that's not what matters to him. He turns it on when the lights are brightest. 7 playoff games, he's won 5 of them, including a championship. He's made the finals every single year that he's been in it, and he's the reigning champion. And because we've had a year off, he's been sitting on that throne for 2
oh,
years.
that sucks.
Doesn't it?
That sucks. Who
Doesn't
let that happen?
I don't know. Franklin let it happen.
Yeah,
Um, and that's the field. I'm super excited to play Cosmic again all day and see everybody. I hope everyone watched this because I think this has been very silly and it will be entertaining at the very least.
for
Um,
sure.
any closing thoughts?
No, I mean likewise. I'm excited. I will give a little like just because you did it at the top. You were so nice about me, so I'm gonna fire it back and say truthfully, something I uh enjoy about you and I find so endearing is your passion for this kind of stuff and the fact that you have statistics and you have the spreadsheets of years past and have all of the links to old podcasts. And I mean, truly, like, you make this happen. You make this happen for a lot of people, and there's a lot of acts of service that go into that. And as much grief as I give you, and as much hell as I give you, and as much as I will continue to give you on Saturday, I do truly deeply appreciate that you've created this space. So I really, I love you, man. Yeah,
Well,
that's my final thought. Yeah,
well,
that's
I
it.
love you too.
Yeah.
Begrudgingly at times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, and I
Exactly.
I appreciate that, and, sometimes I even feel like it's just self-serving because I love it so much, and I, like, eat, sleep, and breathe this kinda thing, and, like, it gives me a distraction. Like, I love to write up power rankings instead of doing my actual work, and, like, I love to just, like, look at the website and the statistics because it's a distraction from the world, but I appreciate you putting it in context of, like, it also being for other people because I do, I take such joy, and I've always have in my whole life in, like, in providing unique experiences for other people. It's like that's why I love like this specifically, or like nights that people come over playing Blood on the Clock Tower, and I have the whole table set up and I have the whole thing or whatever. I think that is like that's been a deep rooted thing in me. This is you want to hear a childhood story
Always,
while we're
please.
here? It just speaks to it's the same. Like I've been this way my whole life. I think it was like a birthday party. It might have been a birthday party for me. I don't remember. I think it wasn't because we were outside, and I have a December birthday, so it's probably cold. If it was my birthday, not important. And there's a bunch of people over, and I wanted to lead everyone in like a relay race game, and I just wanted to like head this thing up and get it going and get it started and get everyone lined up, and they were gonna play this little relay race game. It was gonna be so much fun. I was gonna like provide this experience for people like in this fun thing, and for whatever reason, we eventually did play. I remember this, but it was not until after there was like not the same excitement for it from the
Oh,
rest of the
no.
kids, and I got really upset by this. I remember I went inside and started crying because I was like, I just wanted everyone to play this. It would be so fun. It would be so great. And I think when that happened, they like everyone sympathy played the game for me, and it was like,
This is like your comic book origin story.
yeah, truly, truly. And so it's just been this deep rooted thing in me forever that like I love playing games, but I also love like indulge me for another moment.
I am.
Today at work, we were talking about how when we're creating the atmosphere in our classroom, a lot of it revolves around the atmosphere that we create and the guidelines and the rules, and like how do we facilitate a great atmosphere. And so many people's like, well, when you put up the proper guardrails, it allows for true freedom within the learning environment. So, an example that I've heard is like if I, grabbed my guitar, picked up my guitar, and started beating myself over the head with it, and I asked a group of people, "Is this me playing the guitar in freedom?" The answer is, well, yeah, technically, you're being free and doing what you choose to do with it. But is there true freedom in if I grab the guitar, put my fingers in the right place, strum the right chords, and make nice music? And so then you have these endless possibilities on the guitar of true freedom within the confines of the thing. I love in a game like Cosmic Encounter, and we've talked about Blood and Clock Tower, like that as well, when a group of people gather around and all unifyingly agree to this rule set and agree to live in the confines of that rule set, and then you get to, especially with Cosmic Encounter, like you get to explore it in just an endless possibility of ways, and that's when this true freedom and fun happens. And I love that experience for people. I think that I eh, feel the most myself when I'm in that because I have this place of focus. My ADHD kind of goes out the window because I have this like singular focus, and I get to like live in this moment. And like it's the one like it's in times like those, or like when I'm playing sports that way too, where the cares of like checking my phone or like seeing what's going on in the world like dissipate for me entirely. And so I like to bring other people into that as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I mean, I feel like anyone can be a game player, but it is someone special to be someone like who creates that atmosphere and who's a game maker. And yeah, I think that it makes a lot of sense hearing you phrase it like that, and it's something that I just really appreciate about you because that's so true. It there's a lot of work behind the scenes that go up into setting up fun, right? Like you have to do a lot of work to make something like this happen and make it fun and make it go off without a hitch. And you've done a great job of it for years, and I'm excited for another one.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and, amongst those things that need to be done, my house needs to get cleaned, and that's what we'll be doing tomorrow and probably some of Friday as well, in addition to my own job. Alright, well, if you have, made it to an hour and 10 minutes into this and listen to, your childhood stories at this point, and philosophy of gaming and teaching and all those things, then I'm glad you listened. I think I could talk about that stuff for hours, so and maybe we'll do an
On the
off-season
next
yeah,
episode.
off-season podcast for the Cosmic Tournament. Is such a niche thing. It's insane. Oh man. All right. Explore the website. It's all posted now now that you're seeing this. Which we're recording this on Wednesday night. I'm hoping to get this to everyone by some point on Thursday. So you will see all this. Enjoy it. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday or Friday if you're coming to play ball in the clock tower. And it's gonna be the best weekend ever.
Definitely.
All
Love you
right.
guys. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.